Hi there, I'm Ramon Newman, founder, CEO of Mavericks. So glad you could take the time to check out this video because what I'm about to share with you is extremely important, timely, and relevant for all leaders right now, and it'll be well worth your time knowing what this is. So I want to start with a question. What is that root cause of those costly mistakes that cause the loss of time, money, energy, ROI, key talent, shareholder value, perhaps even your health and reputation, and great opportunities? Now, clearly, as a CEO, you already have a high degree of development of confidence, competence, capabilities, clarity, composure, courage, and the ability to think big and act boldly. But based on the facts I'm about to share with you, even these things may not be enough in this increasingly or exponentially changing business world and the uncertainty that comes with it. So then I'm going to share with you how your achievement and progress can be more highly protected and fulfilling. So the first fact is that 88% of companies on the Fortune 500 in 1955 are no longer on that list today, or actually it was 2015. And the update on that statistic is that 52% of companies that were on the Fortune 500 in the year 2000 are no longer on the list today due to ceasing business, due to bankruptcy, due to acquisition, and their performance causing them to fall off that list. We've also found that 70 to 90% of mergers actually don't work that well. They're considered failures, and 2 out of 5 CEOs actually fall in the first 18 months, and it's probably more over a longer time period. We've also seen very significant and successful CEOs and executives aged between 30 and 60 of very prominent companies like Deutsche Bank, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, Tata Motors, Nintendo, Samsung, Apple, and Fonterra actually lose their life due to health complications, unfortunate circumstances, conflicting circumstances, and suicide, unfortunately. We've seen true life stories become major motion pictures like The Wolf of Wall Street and The Big Short, and it further indicates the need for a deeper level of development of leaders in today's day and age. Now, based on our experience over the last couple of decades working with a number of top CEOs and executives on 4 different continents, we have seen a whole range of experiences of what they can go through. From the CEO of a major division of one of the top companies in the world, the biggest companies in the world, realizing his role, his industry was having a very adverse effect on the health and well-being of his family and himself, and helping him transition to something better. We've worked with a CEO acknowledged and awarded as the best CEO in his country, and then lose that X factor ability, and through our support bounce back to do the biggest deal in his corporate history, a multi-billion-dollar deal that he felt very calm and relaxed doing. We've also worked with a founder of a startup franchise operation, had 2 or 3 stores struggling to break even, and today has over 20 stores and has gone IPO. Worked with an owner who had to liquidate $80 million worth of business, and through our support bounced back to regain his personal fortune. So when it comes to being a CEO, we get it. The buck stops with you. You have the number one responsibility to move things forward by giving greater and greater value to the world, so not only the world benefits, but you get a long-lasting business. Now, in some way, shape, or form, and some point in time, or many points in time, there's those moments that you can be a little shaken or even a lot. And it's in those moments that those costly mistakes can happen that cause the loss of time, money, energy, ROI, key talent, shareholder value, reputation, health, and great opportunities. And in those moments, that fear of loss or that feeling of lack about your achievement and progress can kick in, or even your ability to continue to achieve and progress at a higher level. So what's going to allow you to be more self-sustained, more protected, and fulfilled in your process of achieving and progressing? So based on our experience and what we've been observing with leaders in the world today is that there's a deeper level of knowledge required. And so what we've come up with is what we call the science of protection of achievement and progress for leaders. And what this entails is, first of all, acknowledging that you're not invincible, therefore you need to gain deeper knowledge on how to be, and thirdly, implementing proven, practical programs, techniques, technologies, and strategies that actually give you that direct experience and feeling of being more protected and fulfilled as you achieve and progress. And it's really about ensuring that you're in tune with change. You're not ahead of change, you're not behind change, and therefore you won't be a victim of change. It's about ensuring that whatever you're conceiving, believing, and achieving is less likely to be corrupted, diminished, or lost. And this is especially important when you're doing really well. Things are going great, you put in the great hours and years of effort, and you've achieved something significant. Clearly, you don't want that to unravel and not really arrive at that safe, secure, fulfilling, and healthy place that you've been envisioning. Now, why is the science of protection of achievement progress so important right now? Because that fear of loss, that we're actually 2 to 3 times more motivated by the pain of loss than we are by the pleasure of gain. And this fear of loss kicks in even more so when there's more uncertainty and more change going on. And Jimmy Connors, the great tennis player, he summed this up where he said, "I hate losing more than I like winning." Bill Gates had another take on it when he said, "Success is a lousy teacher. It seduces smart people into thinking that they can't lose." And Peter Lynch, the fund manager, he said there's been more money lost by investors anticipating corrections than there has been in corrections themselves. So clearly that fear of loss plays a role in achievement and progress, but too little or too much of it will cause you to underestimate or overestimate the effect that it can have on you. Now, clearly, no one loves to lose and no one loves to suffer. At the same time, no one is bigger than the game itself. And therefore, you can't be lulled into thinking that you can't be affected by changes, by uncertainty, or reactions that haven't yet come or you can't yet perceive. So it's about developing that right balanced psychology to be in tune with change so you make the right decisions at the right time. My father, he worked for Kodak, and he even was able to see at that time how the leadership wasn't able to be in tune with change. And as a result, we know what happened there. So the other reason why this protection or science of protection is so important is because to avert those costly mistakes that can come up in that process of conceiving, believing, achieving, that really create a drag on your progress. And then finally, as a CEO, you have the number one influence on the performance of your company. Everything that you're thinking, feeling, doing, saying, projecting is having a big influence on everyone around you, both consciously and subconsciously. If you're projecting lack and fear, then that gets reflected back to you. If you're projecting possibility, value, and abundance, then that gets reflected back to you. So how do you activate this science of protection for your achievement and progress? Well, since the great book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill, there's been a plethora of information about leadership, high performance, and self-development that's come out. And all of it is very positive and very supportive. Yet at the same time, what and where is that one simple unified source that simultaneously and spontaneously enlivens and makes more effective and powerful all those great qualities, habits, and strategies that are advocated? Not so much on an intellectual level, which can be limited but also overwhelming, but on a very simple, direct experience level and way, so that your achievement and progress is more highly protected and fulfilling. So by developing more of this one thing I'm about to tell you about, you actually have even greater clarity and a deeper sense of fulfillment in yourself and those around you, and as a result, you're less likely to make those costly mistakes. So versus having to experience that zero-sum game, where you take that 1, 2, or 5 steps forward, only to have to take 1, 2, 5, 10 steps back. So if you're experiencing that, or any form of overwhelm, or fear of loss, or feeling of lack, then it's indicated this one thing has not yet sufficiently been developed. So what is it? Well, it's kind of in that vein of those cell phone commercials where they say unlimited data text calling, LT, 10G, anywhere in the universe, no phone required, seems to be where it's going, but it's not so much on that outer bandwidth level, it's on that inner bandwidth level. And I like to call it your more limitless human capacity, having more access to that. And when I talk about capacity, I'm talking about your coherence, your connectivity in yourself and with others, your alertness, your wakefulness, your consciousness, that you're conscious of what's going on inside and outside of yourself, what you're doing to yourself, others in the environment, what the environment and others are doing to you, to have that broader perspective awareness, to perceive that fullness of truth that naturally allows you to be triumphant over the complications, over the confusion, over the incoherence or competition that you may be facing. So as you access more of your limitless human capacity, you're actually able to function more from that source of thinking and feeling, that most silent, settled, yet alert, dynamic, and coherent part of yourself that has the best insights, the right thoughts, and the right feelings at the right time to act upon. So as you have more capacity, then what happens, you're able to be more in tune with the timing and scaling of your vision, growth, and creativity according to your talent and capacity and those around you and the resources that you have available to you. So you're less likely to be a victim of change. So we've found that capacity is really the one limiting factor on a CEO's confidence, and capabilities. So if you're the CEO of your company, then what is the CEO of you? And the very simple, practical neuroscience answer to that question is your prefrontal cortex. Is that front part of your brain that makes all those very important strategic decisions and executing of those decisions. Very important to take care of, very important to develop, because if it's stressed, tired, fatigued, confused, conflicted, or complicated, you're not in a great state to make a great decision and likely to cause those costly mistakes or miss those great opportunities. So what they found is that world-class athletes, business leaders, and musicians, when they're functioning at their best, they're actually accessing more of their prefrontal cortex and more of those 100 billion neurons to be able to feel more, see more, know more, to make the most progressive and protected actions forward. So I'm sure you want to know how to develop and stabilize that kind of functioning as a CEO. So what we've done is that we've put together what we call our new Mavericks Protection of CEO Achievement and Progress program. Very simple to implement, minimal time investment, yet at the same time, it gives you that deeper, broader capacity to be able to create those revolution results that you're looking for, to attract those high quality, prosperous, truthful, and coherent relationships, to be more protected from industry disruptions and market fluctuations, in fact, be the cause of them, and ultimately have that long, successful tenure in good health. So if you'd like to find out more about this, then there's 3 ways you can do that. First of all, you can reach out to us at support@newmavericks.com, and we'll set up a time to have a call with you, go in more detail about the program, answer your questions, and see if it's ripe for you right now. Second of all, you can reach out to us at the same email, and we can set up a time to come and give you a full presentation of the science of protection of your achievement progress for you and your team. And thirdly, you go to newmavericks.com and sign up for the pre-launch of our book called New Maverick, The Science of Protection for Leaders. So this is something that we're fiercely intent about. And we love taking care of leaders and really seeing them be well protected and fulfilled as they achieve and progress, and that naturally things unfold in a great way for them. Because life is too short not to really experience what you're envisioning. So I believe we're at a time and space in the business world where it's less about how we do business as it is about leadership, developing themselves and the people around them at a deeper level to have that broader, deeper capacity to be in tune with change so you don't have to be a victim of change. So I want to leave you with one last quote from the one and only Warren Buffett. He says, "Investing in yourself is the greatest investment you'll make in your life. No financial investment can ever match it. Because developing more skill, more ability, more insight, more capacity, those are the things that prove economic freedom. Those are the things that make that happen."